Hi, it's Dr. Cooper, and this is a podcast for the ENG102 Freshman Composition course. Today's podcast is the Week 3 weekly podcast. So let's get started and talk about all of the awesome things that you need to be working on in Week 3. Okay, so first off, what we're doing is, most importantly, we're choosing a topic now. So we've explored some different issues under personal freedoms in a discussion and in the first two assignments. I gave you some things to read, to consider, and then of course you did some exploring on the web to see what was out there. And we're trying to get for all of you to choose topics that are relevant to today. And I'm steering you away from some of these old hashed topics that have been done over and over and over again, like abortion, and legalization of marijuana and gun control. Now, what I'm trying to emphasize is that those topics done in general really have been done overdone. And basically, what I'm trying to get you to think about is what are those issues that are popping up today? So, if you're interested in those topics that I've said, let's not do anymore, think about what you've heard about recently on the news, or what you've heard presidential candidates talking about, or what you've read on the web about these issues. Are they current? Are they popular today? Are we debating them today? If you can say yes, and here is specifically what they're saying, you're going to be closer to getting a topic that will be approved. If you just say, yeah, I think we should have the right to bear arms, well, you're right, we do have the right to bear arms. So what? Let's move on. But what challenges are we having to gun laws in this country today? Right now, no one's taking away your right to own a gun, but states are making some weird rules and changes to some of the gun laws that do affect us. That's what I want you to dig down into. Another example is marijuana. Of course, everyone wants to legalize marijuana. I don't know why, but they seem to think that's a popular topic. It's not. No one's talking about that. What they're talking about, though, is how the state is handling it. For instance, the state of Arizona the voters decided that they wanted to legalize marijuana for medicinal purposes. But yet, you can't buy marijuana in Arizona yet for medicinal purposes. Okay, so why? Why not? Or you can, but there are lots of limitations. So those are the topics that you want to write about. You want to get down into the specifics. None of these general topics, they're just not going to work. So if you want to get your topic approved, your research proposal approved, you want to make sure that you are narrowing it down to the topics and issues that we are talking about today. So your research prospectus, which is the research proposal, is due by Wednesday. That's tomorrow by midnight. So you need to present that proposal to me so that I can then get back to you on that. Now, keep in mind that this is a work in progress, so we'll be going back and forth for this week. So once you submit, I will respond. I will either say approved or I will say not approved and give you some suggestions to help you work in the direction of getting approved. Don't get discouraged because I don't automatically say, okay, good job. Remember, I'm trying to help you out. You have to spend the rest of this semester working on this research project. And if I just let you do anything, you may not end up with a suitable project at the end. So I want to make sure that you choose a topic that will give you the chance to do the best that you can do in this class. So I'm not picking on you. I'm not just being mean. I'm trying to give you a good chance to do well. So don't worry about the grades for that first assignment on the research prospectus. I'm going to give you a 1 if you've submitted, and that just means you're going to resubmit again. And if you don't resubmit again, obviously you'll keep that 1. But you can't move on until you get your topic approved anyway. So as soon as you give me a topic that's been revised and improved, I will change the grade. So don't worry about the grade. Worry about the topic and getting it right. Okay, we're also going to continue reading chapter 21 in week 3. So make sure you click on the link. Hopefully you are all not having trouble accessing the handbook anymore. I know some of you were having some trouble in the beginning. But chapter 21, click the link. It'll take you to Connect. You can log in and read the chapter. Now, hopefully you're taking notes and actually paying attention to what you're doing in Connect, because your quiz, which will take place next week, will cover the material that you were to learn from the chapters that I've assigned in Connect. So don't just take it lightly. Don't skip it, because you're not going to do well in the quizzes if you do. I've also provided for you a web document called Writing Paraphrases. So for those of you that are having a little trouble, or you may have forgotten what you learned in English 101, there's a little web document to refresh your memory about how to write a paraphrase. So the week 3 assignment will require that you do some paraphrasing. But before we get to that, we're going to learn how to do searching on the web the right way. Everyone knows how to pull up Google and search on Google, but this way I'm going to teach you is a different way, a more academic way to do research on the web. We're not looking for an easy way to do things here. We're looking to learn how to do them correctly because a lot of you want to be scholars and you will continue your education past Glendale Community College and you want to know how to do it right. And that's what this assignment is going to teach you. So make sure you click on the link that says Searching the Web, Soft Chalk Lesson, and there's a lesson that goes through the 2 different ways to search the web. And it also offers up some different ideas for searching search engines. So we're not going to use Google or Bing or the most popular search mechanisms that you may have been familiar with in the past. We're going to learn a different way. So take the challenge, do the assignment the way that I've prescribed it. All right, so let's take a quick look at assignment number 3. It is our first Odyssey assignment. So how many of you are familiar with the epic novel or epic poem called The Odyssey? Well, many of us had to read it in high school, but basically it's about the journey of Odysseus on his return home from the War of Troy, or the Troy War, whatever it's called, I can't remember. Anyway, he ends up having stops at all of these different islands on his way back home, and on each island he is faced with a new challenge, and he has to overcome the challenge in order to continue on in this journey. Well, I like to think of research as that, as a journey. And each time we do different parts of the research project, we can be faced with different challenges. So all of the Odysseys for this assignment are the key assignments that need to be uh, accomplished or submitted before you can submit your final paper. And these assignments might pose the most challenges for you. So I want to make sure that they stand out as being important. So Odyssey number 1, which is locating sources on the internet, is going to be an important skill for you to learn. But again, it's not just about Googling. It's about learning how to do research correctly. So go through the assignment. What you're going to do is do 2 research assignments. One will be using subject directories, and the second will be using text indexes, or listing text indexes for your search. And you'll learn how to do both of those, and hopefully you will be able to come up with some sources that might be useful for your final paper. Now remember, assignment number 3 is the first assignment after you've gotten your topic approved. So you don't want to do assignment number 3 until you get your topic approved. Okay, if you're close, you can go ahead and get started on it, but if you're way off base on the topic after I've said, no, I'm not going to approve this, then you may not want to wait. You may want to wait before you do this assignment. Okay, so once you do get started, you'll do the 2 separate searches. All I want for you to do is tell me what search engine you used, what website you found. You're going to do some paraphrasing on that, and then at the very end, you will submit a working bibliography. So let's quickly talk about what a working bibliography is. During the research process, whenever you find any source, whether you plan to use it or not in your final paper, you want to keep a collection of those sources, and we call that a working bibliography. You can also create what we call an annotated bibliography, and that's what happens when you take summaries from the sources and you add that to the bibliography. We did that with assignment number 1, where we created an annotated bibliography. Through the rest of the semester, as we work on assignments, I'm only asking for you to do the working bibliography minus the summaries, so not an annotated bibliography. But at the end of the semester, I am asking for you to submit an annotated bibliography. So what you would need to do is go ahead and start writing your summaries as you go along in the process, but don't turn them in to me until I ask for it at the end of the semester. Just go ahead and take the summaries out and submit to me just the working bibliography with each of the assignments that I asked for. The working bibliography will grow with each assignment because you'll be doing more research as we go. So for this one, you'll start out with just the 2 websites that you've gathered. Now, if the 2 articles that you used in assignment 1 are relevant to your project, you can add them to your working bibliography as well. But if they have nothing to do with your project, don't include them. Okay, so you'll compile all the elements of this assignment and you'll submit it right here in Canvas. Okay, so that assignment will be due on Sunday by midnight. All right, so that's pretty much it for this week. Let's get those research proposals submitted, and we'll have this back and forth dialogue about those proposals and hopefully get them approved so that you can get started on assignment number 3 for this week. Now remember, if you have not completed your work from last week, assignments 1 or 2, you only have a week in which to submit late work before it becomes not worth anything. So if you haven't submitted assignment number 2 yet, or assignment number 1, you have until the end of this week to do so. And it's 10% off for each day it is late, so the sooner you get it in, the better. So let's get busy. Let's not get in a hole yet. We just started. It's only week 3, so you still have a great chance to do well in this class, but you can't put stuff off. You got to get busy and get it done today. Okay, if you have any questions or you need any help, give me a call or send me a text message or an email.